right? When we were like teenagers, partying and all of that was a very big thing. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Vinny's Corner. We're already chopping it up, so welcome aboard. So like when we were younger, right? Like partying was just like a big thing, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Every Friday, Saturday night, if you weren't drinking or smoking, what were you doing?
And that was like the social norm for us. But like your generation, specifically Showtime, like you guys are way more like homebody, like much more like kind of introverted almost, like, and I think that that's good. Honestly,
it's a lot. I mean, there's still people getting into trouble, but it's a lot less. I would say.
Trust me, yeah. Like, and that's you're always gonna have a few knuckleheads out there, but like, like when we were young, it was like I said, it was like the norm. Like it was more strange to not go out than to go out and party. Where now it's the opposite, and that's good.
Oh god, Vince, have you ever drank a Colt?
A Colt 45?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, bro. I'm 42 and I'm American. Of course I have. What do you mean? I've drank all that crap. When I was in high school,
you're talking about when we were teenagers? That was the thing. That was the goddamn thing.
We drank okay, so real quick, and then we'll get off of this because we don't even drink, so why are we even talking about it? But when we did, when we were in high school, we used to smoke Newports and drink Old English 840s.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You'd go home, you'd puke every other night. Okay, so sports. Vinny's Corner. We're here for sports. What's going on, fellas? How's everybody doing this evening?
Pretty good.
So I think kind of like the logical place to start out before we get to the NHL and college basketball. Team USA, Team Canada just played. It was an amazing game. Went down to overtime. Cove, what was your like immediate reaction? Like, what were your thoughts on the game as a Canadian hockey fan? What were your thoughts?
I mean, and I'm not going to spew bullshit, but that last 3 minutes was just unreal. Like how they were missing calls for either side. Like
they just let them play, kind of thing.
They let them play, but I'm talking about like you got the 4 minutes high stick, and then incidentally, right after was another high stick, but it was only called for 2, but it should have been called for 4. It was the same kind of high stick, same kind of play. The too many men on ice. I don't think it would have like advantaged Canada, but I'm just saying like it's just they were missing those crucial calls that they should have, especially after that 7-8 guys on the ice, and then again it happened to Canada where like there's 6 Americans on the
thing. Officiating got like the brunt of like the hate. Now, from a purely hockey standpoint, let me pose this question to you, because for me, the thing that stood out about the Team USA Canada final was Connor Hellebuck's performance.
I'm not surprised about Hellebuck because you look at last year. Look at he stood on his head last year. Yeah, he didn't win a cup, but regular season he was amazing. He just had some back problems beginning of the season, and he got healthy. And this is the Hellebuck that we do know. It's just he's been hurt for so long that you look at him a little bit differently.
Now, okay. Now,
it's like a reverse Bennington, basically. How Bennington's not great in St. Louis, but put a Canada jersey on the kid, and he's near impossible to beat.
He was incredible for you guys yet again. You really can't fault him. For almost any of the goals that were scored. Really,
some people have faulted. They're like, oh, because McDavid, because not once, not twice, but 3 times he's playing Matthew Tkachuk in an important game that matters, and he can't beat him.
You can beat him if you want.
Now, okay, so since you just brought it up that way, now let me ask you. Let's segue into the NHL then.
Owner takes hard work.
Right.
The Capital One.
How? Okay.
We are an unlimited double.
How do NHL teams, and you might have a question like this, I don't know, but how do NHL teams capitalize? And this is directed at you first, Cove, because you are the hockey guy.
Yeah.
How do NHL teams, particularly teams that have Canadian and American players, which obviously are a lot, right? How do they capitalize on the momentum that these hockey players just like, right? The Canadians and the Americans both just had an amazing tournament, right?
Yeah.
So
now, what I've noticed, but what I've noticed though is a huge, and I'm not bringing politics in this at all, because we know who has brought the politics into the sport, but since like the Kachucks and the Trumps and all that shit, it's like it's been very dumbed down because it's either it's way too much or not enough being talked about right now because the politics are into it.
okay.
PM on ES.
Now, focus to what I'm saying. What I'm asking you though, how do they capitalize? Right. So some of these like.
So no, that's where I'm going with it. Right now, everybody's distracted because of that being such a huge notion going right now. That a lot of players they're just putting their nose down and just playing. I don't see an advantage or disadvantage right now for Canada or US on any momentum, just because of what had happened because of that. Everybody's just being
okay. So here's what I'm saying, right? Like, forget Canada and US, right? Like the New Jersey Devils. A Hughes brother plays for the Devils.
Yeah.
How do they capitalize on him coming charged up off winning a gold medal? Like, are they able to capture momentum from that?
No, it's still things because they unfortunately it's like I said, I'm not bringing the politics because the Kachucks have something to do with the Trump thing and it's sideways right now. And people say
I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's more being talked about in Canada, but I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, that's why I said I'm not really getting into it because I don't know full of it. I've heard about the stories. It's Kachuk and a bunch of the Americans and things were being said and done and whatever. So a lot of people are really like focused on hockey at the moment and they're just getting back into it. So like, give me another week and people will be different about it. Right now, the momentum's not there.
I'm going to be honest. That you must be watching something that's exclusively on TV in Canada because in the US, everyone's focused on Team USA hockey winning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever's going on in Canada, I'm sorry. We apologize. We don't know what you're talking about. We don't know about the scandal with the Trumps and the Kachucks because they're not talking about this in America. What do you guys have on TV? Is
they you know what they're talking about. It was the downplay of Team Canada inviting the women right after and after they won, but after the Americans won. It was just that weird shit. It just
I don't know.
That's what I heard.
Let's just keep it with hockey because you know, I don't even know. I still don't know what you're talking about. All right, so you got questions. Let's get through your hockey questions, and then what we'd like is to hear what your power rankings are on the current standings in the NHL as we approach the trade deadline. Right? All right, so take it away, Cove. You're up.
So, with the NHL returning to action after the All-Star break, the Olympic break, how will the pace of games and playoff races change? It's similar to what you're asking, but I'm not really focused on players, just talking about teams. Like, how will they, like, Buffalo had a good streak going in before this. Will they continue this streak? Like, that's where I'm going with everything. Like, how do you think this is going to affect the teams going forward? Getting their teams back and ready to go back on the ice, and some had a rest, like all the Russians did, things like that, right?
In my opinion, the players coming out of the tournament are at an advantage, not a disadvantage. Right? Like guys who just won gold and silver medals are charged up and just played an awesome tournament. The other guys have been sitting cold. So I don't know. To me, I think that the advantage definitely comes from, not resting. Like going into the All-Star break, Buffalo has a nice little hot streak going. They want their players on the ice during the All-Star break because they don't want them coming back cold when they're in the middle of a hot streak.
Yeah, see, Buffalo had a good advantage to that because Luukkonen did not show up for Finland because of a bad back, and this 2 weeks could have helped him, and Luukkonen coming in hot. And the thing is, like, I love how people start talking about, like the coldness, right? A couple days off or a week off in between playoffs or whatever. I've noticed now, even in baseball and other sports, they still practice hard and they still go full tilt even when they're off. So like they're always ready to go. These boys are ready, 100% ready to go, whether you haven't seen them for 4 or 5 days or not.
I practice live game action. I don't know.
No, but
Here's
they're
the
not
difference.
as. I'm talking about using the word cold. They're not as cold as you think they are because these guys literally
It's not like
practice.
they're coming off the off season. Of course,
Yeah.
they're coming off of a week or two, but
Yeah.
a week or two off as opposed to the guy who's been skating and winning games this whole time. That guy is at an advantage.
No, but what I mean is before they used to, like, during the All-Star break, they used to be like, yeah, this is your time to spend time with your family. Don't worry about hockey, whatever. You get like 4 or 5 days because All-Star break's not that long. And this is where these guys go basically cold. Like, that's where people would assume it. But now it's like when they're off the ice, they're still on the ice. They're practicing 6 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. These guys practicing at their own house, at their own rinks and everything. So, like, no one's really cold anymore. That's where I was going with it. The game has completely changed where these guys are on the ice 10 months a year.
Makes sense.
Because once you take a month or two off, you notice it. It's like we say with you with training. Say if you're going to the gym, say you take a couple days off the gym for a couple days, and you go back in, you'll feel it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll be cold.
Yeah. So,
All right, so what's the next one?
Colorado's recent trade of Samuel Girard to Pittsburgh for Brent Kuliak highlights early deadline moves. How might this deal impact the Avalanche's defensive depth and cap space?
I feel like I should be asking you these questions. I'm not really sure. Here's what I know. My mentality about the Avalanche so far is that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if they
You always
add
get these
some
rentals. You always get these rentals.
Yeah, but if they can add some reinforcement to the defensive side of things, then it sounds like a great idea.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. You always notice something. You might need a third line D because this third line D is just really not working out. So it's just minor tweaks. Some guys go full in. Some guys don't really do much at all. There's a lot of teams
do you think it was a good move?
I mean, for the way the Avalanche, this is where I'm looking at this. The way the Avalanche are playing this season, I think they are strategically moving pieces that they need to move. So I wouldn't go against their knowledge of making this move. That this makes sense for them right now. If these guys were like a 15 and like these guys, the Winnipeg Jets, who are at 15 wins, I would question it. But where they are right now, I really wouldn't question the move.
You see the question mark forming over my head? So ultimately,
yeah.
Do you, in your humble opinion, was this a solid move for the Avs?
I think it was a solid move just because I watched Colorado, and like I said, he's one of those players that really wasn't there when he was supposed to be there or doing what he was supposed to. So I think getting rid of a piece that's not really working, especially since they've lost a lot more games than they've before the beginning of the season, like 1 or 2 losses. Now they've got like 4 or 5. And it comes down to guys like that who are just fumbling their plays, right? So this is where they have to move players and see what works because they need it for the playoffs. Just because I was telling you before how these teams that win 60, 70 games a year, they flake out in the first round. They do not want to see that happening.
Okay.
So they're trying to make moves to. So I think this move is going to help them get past the first round.
All right, so let me ask you this: is there a team that's like
this spring
you expect to make the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
that is one move before the trade deadline away from making a deep playoff.
I think the Kraken could. The Kraken could.
Okay, so Caleb says the Kraken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might be moderate to severe obstructive.
Tell me more. What do you think?
They need more offensive play. What I heard from Hot Take Show is that they need more offensive players.
Daytime sleepiness is a drag.
They need more offense. So, okay. And like, I feel bad because, like, sometimes I know things, but I haven't been keeping up as much as I should with some of this stuff. And so, in my mind, I'm like, I'm trying, like, I know the Kraken, they're like they're above 500, right? They have 20.
Yeah, about 500, yeah.
So they're okay. They're not like a bad shaped team.
No,
Okay.
I said no.
No, but that kind of goes with what my next question that kind of anybody can answer on this one is, as the trade freeze is lifted and the trade deadline on March 6th is less than 2 weeks away, what teams do you think will become buyers or sellers, basically?
Okay, so Caleb is saying that the Kraken should be buyers,
Yep.
right? And he's right. He's right. They're in third place in the Pacific, so he's not wrong about that at all, right? And because, like, so if you actually look at look at the top three teams in the Pacific, the Kraken have 27 wins. So do the Golden Knights, and the Oilers have 28. So like that whole division is kind of like open.
Your T-Mobile bill for a better deal. That's a
You know, it's So I think that they would be a smart example of being a buyer.
I have a few. Like, I have the Wild. They're looking for a second line center right now, because they want to line up with like Trocheck, Kadri, Coyle, O'Reilly. Like, these guys are like potential targets. And I've heard about Trocheck a bit about Minnesota and Trocheck. Like, they might go after him. Colorado is seeking a third line center, and I believe because of Devin Towers and Lansdale going out. So I think that's why they made this move for Brett Kulik, because they need a frontline center. This is where the move they had to make to fix that spot because of two guys being injured, right? And they were looking at Nicholas Roy. There was a couple guys they were looking at. The Hurricanes are another one. They're looking at Kadri or Steven Stamkos is a possibility, because people forget Stamkos is in Nashville right now, and it's like he's unheard of right now. So maybe Stamkos can get himself back into a playoff team and get his name back out there. The Penguins, they are sellers because they're looking to drop Erik Karlsson because he's got a $10 million option and ABA of like $11.5 million. So they're looking to drop this contract because they lost Crosby for 4 weeks. So that's pretty much putting Pittsburgh out of the playoffs in every which way possible.
I was just about to ask you, like, if the playoffs started today, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So now you think that because Crosby's now out for the next month, that they're going to say, screw this, we're not going to be able to do this without him, and they're going to sell off?
I think Carlson's being sold off because Carlson is aging anyways. Carlson's been around the league.
He's just an aging, expensive contract.
Yeah, so I think that's just the thing is they need to get Crosby's going to be out in next year or two, possibly. Might be sooner, might be later, depending on injuries. Then you have Carlson. So like they have aging contracts that they got to look at because they're going to have to like draft new guys and they're going to need some money. So, and the other one is the LA Kings are looking to possibly take Pettersson out of Vancouver because of Kevin Fiala's injury that he's gone for the season.
Okay.
So there is quite a few teams due to injuries, and this has to do with the Olympics because, like I said, you had Crosby go out, and then you had Fiala. There's been a few guys that now are 2 to 4 weeks out of contention because they played the Olympics.
I don't know if it had to do with the Olympics per se, but Marner is not active tonight for sure.
Yeah,
I know that.
yeah,
And
I
he,
don't.
so that's another. So I don't think the Golden Knights got any of their Olympic players back. If I'm
No.
hold on, let me double check that. But I know Vegas Hockey Freak had posted something about that earlier. They might still be waiting on their players.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
There's a transition period where it's just like it just might happen where it's like a day or so. They just might need a rest. Like they played hard. You're talking about some of these Golden Knights players that played really hard, like Marner and stuff like
Right,
that.
Marner, Eichel, and Stone were
Yeah.
all in the gold medal game.
Yeah, and like I said, they put but this is the where I was getting at was these are type of players that put their body into it, so they need an
Oh,
extra
yeah.
depth. It's not just that they're playing; they're putting their whole body. Like when
And-
Mark Stone was slapping things, like you were like, oh, he was putting momentum behind that. Like like dude, chill for a second because you might throw a muscle out.
Well,
But
yeah. So they
he was shooting bombs.
So hockey is definitely like it should be like this in any sport, right? But hockey is
Yeah.
definitely a prime example of where it's like playing soccer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
People when they're playing for their country, they play particularly hard, right? So it's not like the guys were going out there like it was a regular All-Star week and playing lighter. They were going out there and they were playing playoff level hockey for the entire All-Star break.
Yeah.
That takes a big toll, right? Because the intensity level is notched up quite a bit when you're talking that kind of hockey. It's faster, it's more aggressive, it's harder hitting, all that. So, yeah, okay. What else you got? Is there anything else on hockey?
The other one was just this might really not get far with a lot of guys because it's more specific, but like it's with reported interest from contenders like the Utah Mammoth in acquiring top talent down the middle. What position or player types are most valuable in trade talks right now? But doesn't mean it has to do with them. But who do you think is like could be moved? Like,
That's a good question. You know what? Now I want to
like I said, Stamkos doesn't see a playoffs, but he could go to Carolina and see the playoffs. Like he's still a name. Like there's still names out there of guys who are playing on these low tier teams that might want to be a rental to possibly try to get a ring. Like Minnesota could be a spot, and now for the other guys, you're like, you're still talking about Minnesota? It's like, yeah, I was talking about Minnesota for a while because they're piecing together like certain players, and they're becoming a different a different team than you expected of the Minnesota Wild.
And so like what about, and it's interesting that you just said that. Obviously the Devils are not going to move somebody like Hughes. That's like that's going to be a building block if anything, but they're on the bottom of the ranks. But what about like a team like the Rangers?
Yes, the Rangers are looking to be sellers because they're
like a Panarin. Like what happens with a Panarin?
Panarin.
That's a great, you know what I mean? That's a great, to me, that would be a great boost to any team's offensive, right? So that, but there are some definite teams like to me, the Rangers are a team like, even though they were like good the last couple of years, it almost feels like they're closer to a rebuild than like, I don't know. It feels like something's completely broken there. So I don't know. And you see what Brian just sent. He said Robert Thomas of the Blues might get traded also.
Oh yes. There was a couple of Blues that we were talking about, me and Brian one night, and we were talking about them being possible. The Blues making one or two moves for, just move some contracts and whatnot. Thomas would be an interesting move because he's just one of those players. It's not like a Crosby, but it's just like he's been there for a while. He's like they want to keep him for a minute before they have to really trade him. He's one of those guys where you just don't really want to trade him.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm just running through. I'm literally running through the Rangers roster at the moment, just looking at what people are there. But yeah, I think that probably the best choice off rip, like I said, would have been, or maybe Lafreniere also.
Lafreniere is a possibility, but I don't know if they're ready to move from that kid yet, or the right package for that kid.
I just feel like I don't like maybe I'm thinking more aggressively than they are, but it feel like I said to me it feels like the Rangers went from a playoff team to the last team in the division. Like they've been awful this year.
But that's
Right.
like Chris Klein, like or whatever his name is. When they traded him, that identity just left them for a minute, and they have not
Kreider?
figured. Kreider, yeah, Chris Kreider.
Yeah, when they traded
Kreider took out a heart of like that roster. I don't know what had happened. It was like the Detroit Anaheim trade was right around then, and you didn't know how it was going to work by trading tendies, and then you got Kreider moved, and then just New York, you're just like, wow, it's a different atmosphere now. And then they lost Anthony Panarin, but he was a contract that they needed to dump because he was there for money. He was like, pay me $50 million or I'm not staying. So he had no interest of staying with the Rangers, and so now they got rid of that.
And that's the reason. Like, to me, that kind of felt like the reason why, because like Kreider was like the preamble to that, right?
Yeah.
And I just don't understand the whole thing because if you look at Anaheim now, right, like it's like what they took from the Rangers, they like literally, right?
Yeah.
It's working on the Ducks now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're now in contention for the playoffs because of it. Right? That's how it feels to me almost. I don't know. All right. So listen, now what I wanted to get from you was your power rankings. Like we're going back into it. So like, who are the 5 teams right now that people should be really paying attention to in hockey? What do you got, Cole?
I got a weird power rankings. You think you'd have the Avalanche? You think you'd have them like you think I'd have the Avalanche as 1 right now? Is your thing is like who to watch now? I'm gonna say
Right now, today, not
yeah,
the whole
right
season,
now.
like,
I'd say watch the Capitals, watch the Jets, still watch the Avalanche, the Lightning. I think the Lightning are better than the Avalanche right now. And the Hurricanes is my top 5.
Okay. All right. So I guess here's my question. The Lightning, right? Like a team like the Lightning are they like they feel like they're all the way back?
Oh no, they're all the way back. You
Like,
you look at the last 2 months of the Lightning. This is that Lightning team that from 2020 to 2022 that we feared.
yeah, this
They're
is like
all back. They're all healthy. They're
Cup.
all ready to go.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I completely agree with that. Obviously, I'm just being a homer for the Avs. I think the Avs should be number 1. And I'm not even an Avs fan. I'm an Islanders fan, right? But all right. So those are the 5 teams that Cove says. Cove's Canadian, guys. So up until we just won the gold, Canadians were the preeminent authority on hockey. So you should listen to him. I know, Cove. I'm sorry. I had to take a gold medal shot. Just
yeah, I know. You I was like, you dusted off from a gold after 46 years, and I'm like, we'll just dust off our other 7.
All right. So next thing up, NCAA March Madness is coming, right? It's almost that time of year. Yeah. Literally, March 1st is on Sunday. So we're now how many weeks out are we from the tournament?
Let me see here.
Let's see. Hold on.
Like, what's the starting date?
Madness.
March 15th, 16th. When do these games begin? Everybody's Googling things right now. So, guys, I was telling these guys.
17. It's starting the 17. So we're like 1,
So
2,
just like almost like a little less than 3 weeks away.
a little less than 3
March
weeks.
15th, April 6th.
So March 15th is going to be selection, right?
Yeah.
Selection.
Yeah.
Okay, selection Sunday and all that. Okay, so
We gotta remember plans. Plans are the day before.
Mhm.
yeah,
I would think so, yes.
Yeah,
so
but
basically,
we're in the pre-tournaments though. All these tournaments are happening in the next 2 weeks for
Yeah.
the rankings.
all the conference championships and all
Yeah,
that are going to be
conference
going down the next
championships,
2
yep.
weeks. So what I was explaining to Caleb earlier, right? I'm a New York City kid, whatever. When my family moved out of the city, we moved to Long Island. We lived just outside of Queens, like a 20-minute drive from St. John's. So I grew up very fond of St. John's basketball.
Mhm.
I sat down to get on the laptop to start talking with you guys tonight, and I'm like, oh, St. John's is playing. Let me turn the game on. So I turned the TV on, and St. John's is losing 36-70. I was like, oh. And mind you, Cove, they're supposed to be the number 15 team in the country.
Yeah.
But they're getting blown out by another team in their division, in their conference before the tournament, before they even get to the tournament.
Yeah.
So, all right. So before we jump into like any other like questions or anything, I just wanted to turn it over to my guy Showtime here. Showtime has his top 10. So,
All right. I think Duke is obviously the best team in college basketball.
Yep, that's number
now,
1.
okay, so I'm gonna start asking you questions as you put each team. So number 1's Duke, right?
Yeah.
For people who are not familiar, like who are like the stars of Duke
Cam
basketball
Boozer,
this season?
Boozer, yep.
Boozer's son. They have 2 Boozers on the team. Cam Boozer's like a top 3 consensus pick.
Yep.
So
And
Carlos
then-
Boozer from the NBA,
Yeah, exactly.
formerly, his kids are now Duke college stars,
Star. Yeah.
and they're
That's how
the
Duke
best
rolls.
players in the country.
They just have stars on stars.
Okay.
Number 2, I would say Michigan was in a close game with them like recently. So Michigan was probably in my top 5. Michigan. Hold up. I had a list written down. Hold up.
The lists. Let's go to the list. Yo, Showtime. See, like he got the whole Miami vibe jersey
Yeah.
on. Like,
Yeah.
those are the best. The Air Max 97s and the Air Max 98s that in the Miami colors. So
Yeah.
drip. Love those. They don't compare to my Stone Cold cutoff though.
Yep, for sure. Florida is always really good in the tournament. I would say they're
Okay, so I asked somebody this question earlier. Is Florida like in your mind today? Is Florida a football school or is Florida a basketball school?
It's more basketball right now, for sure.
Yeah, more basketball right now. Yep.
Okay.
They start the football.
March Madness.
And is the SEC a better football or a better basketball conference?
That's very up in the air. They're both pretty close, I would say.
They're both pretty
I
good.
would-
It
Close,
feels like
I would
the
lean
Big Ten is
basketball.
better
I
at
would.
football and the SEC is better at basketball. That's how it feels.
It's hard to say, honestly.
All right, so who's our next team?
All right. Like top 10, Kansas is a team to watch because they have a top 3 projected pick in Darren Peterson. He's
Yeah.
he's a top 3 consensus pick, but there's a narrative with him that he doesn't like play in the second half because he just doesn't care. But it's like he's been managing an injury all year. I feel like he'll turn it on in March Madness to like kind of silence haters.
Okay.
Or sell his draft stock.
Exactly. It could be one
That's
or
what,
the
yeah,
other.
right. He got to turn it up for the tournament.
Exactly. So it's like a make or break for him because he's only been playing like, in the first half, then he subs himself out.
Listen, you got all these teams in the NBA tanking right now because apparently this is like the deepest first round draft in the history.
Insanely good class.
Like, I mean, teams are just blowing it and not even caring. They're like, no, we need to get one of those top 10 picks.
Yeah.
Like, and it doesn't have to be number one. Like, apparently, it's
you
so
just have
good
to
that,
get in
like,
and you can make a run. Exactly.
yeah, that's crazy. All right, so who we got after Kansas?
Houston's a pretty good team. Houston.
What's their issue this season? Like, they were the team last year. Now it feels like they're
kind of feels like they just don't really ever make it far, honestly. Like they've made some like Elite 8 runs, but they just don't ever really make it to the championship.
Well, they made it, right? Didn't they make it to the championship last year?
Oh shit, I'm tripping. Yeah,
and they lost.
You're right.
But
shit, my bad.
This is my question, right? Now, that team, their major issue was, right? They were an incredible defensive team, but their offense at times, they didn't have the offensive firepower to compete with like a Florida, right?
No.
Was this season just like
because
are they
Walter
regressing
last
even
year
more?
in the tournament, he just went off, and that shifted it.
So like their offense is just like mid.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, that's fair.
Pretty much. Gonzaga's been like a really consistent
They
don't really have any top prospects that I know of, but they've just been consistently in the top 10 all season.
I feel like they're always right there, right?
Gonzaga's always there. Yeah.
It's one of those things. All right. So like the team,
like sleeper teams, I don't know. There's always weird stuff that happens.
You know who it's not going to be? It's not going to be my alma mater, WVU, because West Virginia stinks. And I don't think it's going to be St. John's.
Yeah, it's not going to be them also.
What's going on with Oregon this season, Caleb? Are they good?
They've been losing a lot of games. Look, they're so fun. I mean, look. Big Ten.
Like, are they a team? Could they be a sleeper team?
Yeah, they used to be a good team, but right now they are 3-13 at their record. Wait. Yeah, 3-13. Let me see.
3-13.
No, 10-17. They're 10-17 right now.
Oh, they're pretty bad.
They're pretty bad.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, it happens. It happens. All right.
There's also like UNC and BYU. They have like top consensus prospects.
What's the kid's name on BYU?
In the playoffs.
DeBanza or something to that effect?
Yeah, UNC star Caleb Wilson is out until pretty much March Madness. So we'll see when he gets back and if that could help him make a run in the playoffs because they've made runs.
Kind of a random question. What happened to the girl, the female USC basketball player?
Juju Watkins? No.
Yeah, Juju Watkins.
That hurt herself.
Really? What happened?
Like, her leg out last year? What happened to her?
Yeah, I think she's back this year.
Isn't she supposed to be back?
Is she? I think she might be or not. I'm not. I can't say I know about that.
I don't know. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
Because I haven't heard. You know what? I don't even know. Like, I don't know when like college basketball, like women's basketball, is going on.
Yeah, I'm completely out of the cycle with that.
I don't even like. I realized I was thinking this yesterday. I was like, is the WNBA going on right now? When does that happen? I have no idea. But I keep up with women's like combat sports, not really the other stuff. So, all right, Cove, back to you, my friend. You've got some baseball stuff going on there, I'm sure. And we got guys here. Everybody loves baseball, so we got a Miami Marlins fan here.
Yep.
We got a Seattle Mariners fan here. We got a salty Yankees fan here, and we got Cove, the White Sox fan.
Yeah.
The upstart White Sox.
Wow. So what's going on with baseball season? It's here. Like
Yeah.
I've been watching spring. I've low key been watching spring training
I've been
online.
watching it, but
It's very weird. Very weird.
So I
watching
got
spring
quite a few questions. They're all like one ringer off questions. So we can go through like 10 in a minute, basically.
Okay.
So for the Astros, how good is Tatsuya Yamaya? Do you think how good do you think this kid's going to be for Houston?
I don't think he'll be Yamamoto type good or like Roki Sasaki type bad last year because Roki Sasaki had like a lot of hype and he just was completely awful. I mean,
But Sasaki kind of he get
kind
better
of
towards
fluked
the
out. He
playoffs,
fluked out, pretty much.
but he wasn't what he was supposed to be.
No, not at all.
So you think he's going to be average?
I think he'll be average. Yeah, I don't think he'll be bad. I don't think he'll be great. He'll just be average.
No. I'm like preconditioned to assume that when I hear a Japanese name, that he's nice at baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll get there.
You know, I think he's going to be a star.
Now,
Yeah,
I
that's
know
fair.
Vince will be different about this one because I know he'll have an opinion. But is Bobby Witt Jr. queuing up an MVP season this season?
I mean, as long as Judge is in the AL, no one else is winning the MVP. I say this as not a Yankees fan, but that's just how good he is.
Yeah.
It's actually like his Judge's regular season play is wild. Like
It is.
Like he's
If
in
he doesn't
like
get hurt, it's his MVP. Period.
he's one of the guys who's like he's in the conversation for the greatest rookie season of all time. Like he's
Yep.
like he's I want him to win it would mean so much for like Yankee fans for him to win. It's not even just winning a World Series. Like it would mean a lot for us if Judge won a World Series.
Yeah.
It really would. Because like we need to put him like he needs that ATG status, and we need him to get that that World Series. It's important.
All right. Can Spencer Jones find his way into New York for the Yankees? Especially after them picking up Bellinger, like re-signing Bellinger, Trent Grisham, they got his qualifying offer, and then you have Aaron Judge. So can Spencer Jones somehow make it into that lineup?
He would be like a backup outfielder, pretty much. Like they can
Yeah.
give him daily reps. I don't think so.
Yeah.
DH?
No. What's his name? Stanton went to DH.
Yeah, you're
exactly.
right.
I wouldn't say so.
I don't know
Unless he
where
just
he would
completely
go.
goes off in the minors. There's
The
How
Yankees,
good? Oh yeah. How good will Bo Bichette because they're looking at him at third base?
I think he'll struggle defensively, but who knows if that'll affect his bat? But I think he'll struggle defensively.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Is Chase Burns in Cincinnati ready to play? Like, is he going to have a good year in Cincinnati?
Chase Burns, let's see.
well, so Cincinnati, I feel like as a team, like I expect the team as a whole, I expect to see a bump in performance as a whole this season. Like they sort of gelled as a unit this year.
Yeah.
They got a lot better, and I feel like they're gonna, as a team, I feel like they should look better this year. So, yeah, I'll go. Yeah.
I think yeah too. I think yeah too because he has really good stuff and he can like I think if he can limit fly balls in that ballpark, he'll be serviceable enough at least to stay in the rotation.
So White Sox, Blue Jays, because you mentioned Japanese players. Will Muntaka Muramaki and Kazama Okamoto hit the ball hard and often?
I think they'll have good seasons. I think they'll have good seasons.
Murakami's going to be a stud, no doubt about it. He's going to be a home run stud. Okamoto, he's already hitting.
Yeah.
It's already happening. If you're paying attention to spring training, it's already started.
Yeah, I know it's already starting, but is he gonna stay on this course or is he gonna fall off? Like,
these guys look very promising. I have no reason to not think that they're not both going to excel in this league.
I think they'll both be serviceable at least, and if not, they'll pop off.
It seems like these Japanese leagues at some level have gotten into like they're like I wouldn't say minor league for the MLB.
I would say it's like a level above minor leagues, honestly.
But they're like it's like a proving ground for the MLB
like
now,
the next
for sure.
Best thing besides the majors, I would say.
Yeah, like the guys who get here from there, I feel like often enough, like more of them do well than do bad.
Yes, for sure.
That's what I would say. So yeah, like I think they'll do good.
Baltimore Orioles, who's their day one starter?
Kyle Bradish, just because he's been there the longest, I would say. He's had the most tenure with the Orioles.
That does make sense.
Yeah,
it's not because of talent. I would say him and Trevor Rogers are like talent-wise, they're pretty equal, but I would say just because Bradish has been there longer.
The Orioles.
you got Trevor Rogers too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I mean it would make sense. I think Bradish makes sense
for sure. Like he was last time he had a fully healthy season. He was top 5 in Cy Young voting. So,
what about they have Bassett?
He's like a back end rotation guy, I would say.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What we got, Cole?
Tigers. Can Kevin McDonald insert himself into the lineup for the Tigers?
I think he can hit. It's a question if he can defend it. I would say. I think he makes his way there at least by mid-season, I would say.
So I think that if you watch what the Tigers have been doing, like one thing that every piece they've added to this puzzle recently, it's not like home run hitters necessarily, but like he'll put the ball in play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, but can he insert himself with the guys who they have on the lineup? It's like, who does he get backup, or can this guy get into the starting lineup?
I mean, it's definitely possible, right? I think it's gonna be based on anyone else's regression also this season, right? Because like I think that the Tigers had a really good season as a team last year. Right? I mean, I know Glaber
depends on how
re-signed with them.
Depending on how good he plays, McGonigal could take over at shortstop.
Now, so now this is going to be a two-parter because I've experienced ABS like this spring season. I'm like, I get an opinion about it. So will ABS be a boon for a short king like Caleb Durbin?
I don't. I'm really iffy about ABS. Like I like it and I don't.
So Cove, you sent something about that today, about the ABS today.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to just like expand on what you sent?
So I forget the game fully to be honest about it, but there was 3 calls within an inning that were called twice by the catcher, once by the home team, once by the opposing team. They both caught it, and all 3 times that the ABS caught it, that's what they saw, and the umpire saw something completely different. So he said strike, ABS saw ball. If they saw ball, the ABS saw strike. So like the accuracy of the umpires right now is interesting because they're not batting. They're batting like a 30% on accuracy. Like the ABS is taking over 7 out of 10 calls. ABS is getting right.
Just shows that ABS is accurate. It's not flawed.
Yeah, it's not flawed. So I mean, this is showing you how many blown calls you've seen as a baseball fan. You're going, now you're seeing the inaccuracy with the umpires. Like,
And I think that it's going to be one of those things that, right, you have X amount of like old time like people, like it's the game that got it. You're gonna have like some pushback still on it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the teams are just going to be like, well, the calls are getting right. Like, everyone's going to get on board with it ultimately, I think.
Yeah, if the calls are right, their teams are gonna use it when needed.
oh yeah, no, that's what I like that aspect, because you're gonna get a call. It's not gonna be, you're not gonna get a ball below the knees, get it called strike three, can't call the OB, can't call the ABS on this thing and get it overturned, and that's the game, right? Like
Yeah.
I love that, but what I'm not liking about it is, it's like, say you're 15 pitches deep, and he's like, oh, I gotta check that one. You're like,
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
that's nonsense.
Like, it's gonna be overused, and it's just gonna slow the game down, and they're gonna get mad
Even
about
more.
it. Yeah, even more.
Baseball games are like 6 hours now.
Yeah, I know. Now every third, like what I was watching was like I said, it was like 4 or 5 batters, and there was already 3 calls, and it was like, it's like, so how many ABS calls are we gonna get? Like 2 to 3 an inning? Like,
I'm just hoping they get used in the right situations and not just abusing it, pretty much.
now that's the only thing I haven't really actually looked at how many calls you can throw in the ABS, because I always thought it was the managers that were doing this, but the back catchers are calling it now.
Well, so there's going to have to be some kind of like they'll have to make some kind of regulation about like how it's used, right? Like how often you can.
There might be. I just haven't looked it up. There might be a rule where
I think the rule is if you get the challenge right, you keep it. But I don't know how many challenges you have.
Yeah, that's what I do not understand. Do they get 2 or 3? Like,
yeah.
I mean, they're gonna play with it right now, because a lot of people say that this is meaningless baseball because it's just spring training.
Yeah,
but you can learn a lot in this, because you could have a situation and it could overturn the situation. And you go, remember in the third game, and when we were playing, and all of a sudden we called this, like, oh yeah, this could be the same situation. Like, it's gonna be a learning curve for a lot of people, but I see it being a positive as in improving the game, because now the bullshit calls can now be contested and it can turn over a game.
Yeah, and it won't. Umpires won't be able to affect the game negatively.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a good thing overall. Here's what I know, right? If I was to call my boy right now, who's like a hardcore old school baseball fan, he coaches and all this other stuff, he'd be like, I hate it. I'm not into it. He would give me the whole thing. He'd give me the whole business. It's not, it's not the game. It's different. It's not the way baseball is supposed to be played. He'd give me the whole fucking
the whole spiel. But that's the thing, though, is they've been flirting this ABS for 2 seasons, and they were doing it in Double-A. Then they moved it up to the Triple-A. It's worked in both leagues. Now it's made its way into Major League, right?
Listen, his son plays pitch. His son is a pitcher, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, if your son had access to this and was getting, multiple more strikes called because of the accuracy of the machine, right?
Mm.
Like, that'd be a good thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like, and if it wasn't, then you would know that he's not throwing strikes and you could work on that.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I guess so, but I don't know. I just don't know. Like, you just get the pushback. You get the old school
Now, this will be the last one I got for you, but it's going to be very interesting, because I don't know how you feel about this. Not the Dodgers, or reverse. We'll go with the Angels. Can the veterans actually improve the LA Angels?
They're just the Angels.
Well, who's the veterans? Mike Trout?
You got Trout, and they picked up quite a few different, like, I think it was like Soler they picked up.
That was last season, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, but now they have like an overloading veteran leadership in that organization right now, who they picked up. Like I was talking to Drama about it, and Drama was like, "Are you really talking with the Angels?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm actually talking with the Angels. Like, I think that they could compete this year with the team that they have right now on paper."
I would say that probably the biggest threat to the roster is the age of it.
Yeah, and Mike Trout, if he can stay healthy.
Right, and that could be the issue for half that roster.
Yeah.
So right now they have in the rotation is they got Kikuchi, they got Soriano, Detmers, Rodriguez, Dana, and Alex Manoah is their starting five.
I mean, I would say that's better than they have last year, but Grayson Rodriguez hasn't proven he can stay healthy. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He's good. He's good when he is healthy.
Exactly.
And so, listen, this is okay. Let me say it like this. This is what it sounds like. This team has the potential, right? If all the chips fall in the right direction, they make the playoffs. This is that kind of a team.
Yeah, like a wild
They've got
card
the
team.
leadership. They've got some of the pieces.
Yeah.
They have some, right?
So I'm just gonna finish off with it. It was Chris Taylor I was talking about. So they got Chris Taylor, Yohan Makata. You got Zach Nato. I'm trying to think. Taylor could also play left field, but they got Matthew Lugo, Mike Trout, and
Lugo.
Yeah. Matthew Lugo. I think it's their outside of Chris Taylor. That's their other best left fielder is Matthew Lugo.
You have Joe Adele too that had a break.
Yeah, Joe Adele, but I mean, if you can hit or miss with that guy, right?
Yeah.
So I go with him. You got and you're like Soler and Trout, they're DHs, right?
Yeah.
So you play Trout right field. You got Jorge Soler and
Isn't there conversation that Trout's gonna play center field and DH or no?
No, he's going back to right.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, no, he's going to center. Yeah, Joe Adele's moving to right. So Chris Taylor's supposed to go to left. Joe Adele's gonna go to right, and Mike Trout's gonna go to center, and then you got Jorge Soler in DH.
DH, yeah.
Like it feels weird to me that Trout would be moving to center.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Like that's gonna put more stress on his body, not less.
I think he needs to challenge him though. I think that's what he's gonna do.
Like, okay, I mean,
okay, as a player standard, from going right field, you're tossing to first base, or you're tossing to third, or you're tossing to home. But center, you really gotta you really only toss in the second or the short, really. So it's like
from a throwing standpoint, okay,
yeah,
makes sense.
So Trout doesn't gotta make that toss all the way home.
Yeah.
But he's got
to cover more ground.
Like the fielding area is larger.
The outfield.
He's covering, but I think that's where he's been lacking because there has been a lot of right field action for him when he's been healthy, and a lot more in the center. So I find the center he'll just keep moving, and he's just got an aging body, and it's like me. I played, as you guys didn't know, I finished playing semi-professional like after 30 years, from like a kid till I was 35 years old. So I played 30 years of baseball, and I got to the point where I was like, my body couldn't take it anymore. Like, and I was a shortstop, and I went to center field, and it was the most relaxing because when I go left or right, I couldn't play it. I was like, if I'm gonna be left or right, I'm gonna just quit. I moved to center because it was less stress on my body, as a 35-year-old male at the time when I was doing it.
That's interesting. Because right, you see how like we thought completely different. That's interesting.
I would say maybe he's trying to move back to center field just to be more engaged in the game. Like, maybe that'll help him have like a bounce back year because he stayed healthy last year, but he really didn't play up to how good he has been.
Plus most center fielders have the control of the outfielder.
Yeah, maybe
you got your left and right. If he's on the right, he's trying to yell at his left fielder to be like, "Yeah, come in." You can't hear him. So, like setting him at center, he can verbalize
all the game
because there's no defensive shifts anymore, right? In baseball, really. So, like he's got to verbalize it, and he's got the best of both worlds by being in center.
For sure.
That makes sense. Okay.
For sure.
That's all I got, man.
Yeah. I mean, the ABS is really interesting because, like I said, it's just ABS is going to be an interesting thing as, like you said, about is it going to be used for the right thing, and then. But
Well,
my
we'll
whole thing,
revisit it like as this
yeah,
like so. Think about
we'll
like
have to revisit all
last
season
year.
because we'll be talking about it, right?
Yeah, so like right last year when the torpedo bat entered the picture, right?
Yeah.
We readdressed the conversation every other week, basically.
Oh yeah, we've always done that, especially
Yeah,
when the pitch clock
we'll talk about this
changed,
all
and
season.
yeah, this is
You
we
know,
got 162 games to go through.
yeah,
So.
just a couple, 162 for each team. You know, it works out to more games than that because there's more because I'm following one team, he's following one. You know,
Oh yeah. When you go across the league, you're like, oh Jesus.
I told my wife yesterday, I was like, honey, because so last year my MLB TV subscription was free.
Yeah.
So I was like, honey, I think I'm gonna renew that subscription. I kind of liked it. It's so much baseball. Like
No,
I can
awesome.
just walk in my door at any time of day, and there's always games on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
The
awesome.
one thing I was gonna get you about that is because you've talked about it, is to understand the game about ball. You got to look at the transactions that teams make in a run of a day, and you're like, your brain will just explode.
You know,
With
I
all
was
the
literally while we were on hockey, I was in the transactions for hockey. I do that for every sport. But specifically like this time of year, like it's just right in spring training. You got to see what players are getting moved up and down. Like some people are getting called up at this time of season. Some guys are getting sent back out.
Yeah.
Like
you really got to pay when it comes to baseball. You really got to pay attention to the top 100.
Yeah.
That is what changes our game, 100%. Because I'm not going to knock right now on any other sport, but baseball does something that no other sport has ever done, and they've never even thought about it. You don't trade draft picks in baseball. They've never done it, and you have to do a minimum of 4 years of minor league service before they'll even think about even putting you up in the show. So the development is insanely different.
But then there's the Angels who like to call out prospects. You know, this is pretty much they like to rush prospects.
They do, but they rush in between AAA, AA a lot. But it's getting into the majors. There's only been 2 or 3 guys who have ever graced basically MLB by the age of 20, and Bryce Harper is the most talked about one.
he was like 16, right, when he was on Sports Illustrated.
Yeah. But he was the first one to come into the league at fresh 20 years old. Usually it's 21, 22 years old before you ever get your start call-ups.
Yo, what are the Dodgers doing claiming outfielders?
Because they can.
What's going on, bro? Exactly. Like leave it alone. Like these people, like they're so annoying.
They're the Dodgers. They're rich. They're rich.
They can buy an MLB team and run it secretly. We wouldn't even
The
know.
Dodgers are really didn't know the players.
Like this is what they did. They put Kiki Hernandez on the IL.
Yeah,
they claimed Jack Sawinski from Pittsburgh's Pirates off
They're
waivers.
claiming leftovers.
But they're smart.
Oh
They're
yeah,
like, okay, go rest.
They meticulously they're back-to-back champions. We haven't seen a back-to-back MLB champion in a long time,
dude. In years since the Yankees.
Yeah. What was it, 98, 99?
Yeah.
That dynasty. Oh yeah. This is the, as you say, the MVP. This is the fucking World Series. We got to take. We have 29 teams going to try to shut down the Dodgers.
Dude,
before a three-peat.
It's going to be interesting. I would like to see the NL
win a pennant. Yeah.
Like I would just like to see the NL solve this problem in-house. Leave the American League alone. Like just beat them. Like send somebody else from the NL. Like can't the Phillies or somebody just get this done? And like the Yankees or one of them, we'll meet you there. Like, okay, but we don't the NL just needs to handle this Dodgers problem for us. The American League wants
no part right there. They were right there, the Blue Jays.
Bro.
The calls in the 9th inning that cost the Blue Jays so much. And I'm not talking about game 7. I'm talking about game
No, yeah.
6.
Game
The
6.
ball stuck in the fucking. God damn it! Like the ump even like dislodged it. It was not stuck. Like I don't understand that.
He was like, wait.
Like everything went the Dodgers' way to win that series, pretty much.
Oh yeah,
They were
yeah.
on the brink, and it took like a Miguel Rojas homer. Like who would have thought to tie the game?
That's
They win
listen.
that.
The universe was conspiring against everyone else.
Have you seen the meme about Canada where they almost scored on U.S.? Hellebuck got the stick out, and then they have the Jays where he's touching home plate and he's getting thrown out.
That's amazing. I gotta go find it. If you see it, send it to me. That sounds amazing.
It's got him sliding at home plate with his foot on the fucking bag as he's getting thrown out, and then the save that basically saved fucking USA to win the gold.
Yeah.
Listen, it is that time of night. It's about time to shut it down, guys. But this is actually a perfect, like, since you just brought that up, I want to say this. I was not alive the last time the United States won a gold medal in hockey.
1980.
I wasn't alive either.
I know. Well, I know you guys were younger. But I was not even alive yet. Like, dude, I got like teary eyed watching them. Like my wife came out of the shower because it was like the game started at 5 a.m. here or something. My wife came out of the shower. It was like dumb early, and she's like, "I guess they won." I was like, I was so charged up, and I just wanted to share that, like, as a fan of hockey, as an American, it was just like it was surreal. It was awesome. As a hockey guy, you've gotten to see your team win it before. You know, in my 42 years, that was the first time I saw Team USA win that medal, and that was awesome. It was so cool. I really appreciate, and we may not see it again for another 42 years. You know, I know Canada is not going to take lightly to this.
The Ranger curse, no,
dude. But all right,
we're in the Ranger colors. Yeah.
That's all we got this week on Vinny's Corner. Thank you guys for tuning in with us. My guy Caleb, my guy Showtime, and my guy Cove, thank you guys for pulling up. I will have this live on Spotify. I think I forgot to add last week's. So I'll have a bunch of stuff on Spotify if anyone wants to check it out. And we'll be back next week to talk more of this March Madness stuff. I'm gonna hound my guy Showtime to get some more information and do our thing. All right. I'll see you guys next week.
I might get more information too.
For sure. And it's not going to be about Oregon because they're not even going to make the tournament.
No, they're not. They're not going to make it.
All right, guys. Everybody, you guys take care.
Take care.